Hello and welcome back to Shanti Finance. Today, before we delve into today's tutorial, let me give you a little background to it. I am raised as a Bengali in the eastern part of India, and being a Bengali, a very important part of our culture is this time of the year where we celebrate Durga Puja. To those who do not know much about Bengalis and their connection with Durga Puja, it might seem like, well, it is another Indian religious festival, right? But it's a big deal. Indians have religious festival crammed into every single month of the year. Another one. But this particular festival is so much more than just a religious festival for Bengalis. It is kind of like quintessential part of the Bengali culture. And obviously, being born and raised as a Bengali, I cannot avoid that part of my culture. No matter where I am, how far I am from Bengal, I always celebrate in some way or the other. And being an artist, I always express my feelings and what I'm going through and what I'm thinking about through my art. So obviously today's art is dedicated to Durga Puja. So right now I'm totally into my Durga Puja mode, and so is my artistic exponent. So the next few episodes, everything would be something related to Durga Puja. It can be about nature around this time of the year, or something essentially related to the religious rites, but it will be definitely around Durga Puja till the Durga Puja phase is over. Now, today we are around Mahalaya, which essentially denotes the beginning of this festival. And that being said, I tried to draw something portraying Mahalaya. Now, clay idols are an important part of any Hindu religious rite. And for Durga Puja, it is a clay idol of Mother Goddess Durga that is worshipped. We call Durga. And so I thought I'd give a little tribute to these beautiful artistic exponent of clay idols. That being said, there are many artisans all over India who make beautiful clay idols of gods and goddesses all around the year. They never are even revered the way they should be. Nobody knows where they are come from, nobody knows their name, they neither get the money or the fame. And I thought as an artist, it is really important for me to kind of remember their contribution, which is essential and important part to any festival. So today I am portraying an artist who is adding the last finishing touches to the idol of Goddess Durga. And with this, I'm trying to pay my tribute to my fellow artists who have not had their righteous claim to the name and fame and fortune. And today I'm working with oil pastels. And as usual, I'll put a link to all the materials used in the video description and everything else. Do not forget to hit the subscribe button, because that is the best way to keep in touch about what's going on and what's coming up. Thank you for watching. I'm starting off by blocking in very lightly with the lightest of the flesh tint I have in my set of pastels. And I'm almost going over the entire face of the idol with that lightest tone of pastel, and just leaving a few areas, which is the inside of the eye, the eyebrows, and parts which I thought would be the brightest highlight, where I'm planning to keep those areas white. And I'm coming back with a little bit of reds and purples to the partial hands that is showing behind the idol, and I'm pulling a lot of purples and reds, browns for the idol face. As for the hands, it is more I want a more darker skin tone. and more realistic. The idol is not a realistic skin tone, but the hand is. So for the hands, I have more of darker browns and some of purples and some of the flesh tints. However, as for the face of the idol, I have more of flesh tints and very little of reds and oranges and a little bit of purple to get the right color. And it should look realistic like an idol, but not realistic like a human skin, because it is not. It is the face of the idol, which is not exactly realistically made, at least in this particular idol. So I'm trying to mimic the best idols that I have seen all my life in my childhood and all. And I am switching on to lighter and darker shades of the flesh tint, some reds, browns, purples, and a little bit of orange here and there. And once I've done with all the blocking in of colors in the right areas, I'm using this white piece of pastel and going over all the areas and trying to blend as much as possible, just using the white over the darker colors. When you push a pastel a little bit harder on the lighter under layers, it kind of blends together and makes a good layer. Now I am blocking in darker areas of shadows with reds and browns. On the lips, I have used mostly red, and in the little areas of highlight spots, I have used the lightest flesh tint. Blocked in the bindi and going over all the darker areas with a lighter color and trying to blend as much as possible with the pastels first. Later you will see that I come back with my short brush and little bits of mineral spirits, or rather paint thinner, to blend the skins perfectly and remove all the little bitty places which look white and not blended. Like you see right now, as I'm blocking in the darks and lights of the hand, I am going for more darker tones, which is because this is the area where I am looking for very realistic skin tones. So I am majorly using light and dark shades of brown, and a little bit of red and orange. And once I have blocked in the darker shadows, I'm coming back with the darkest flesh tone that I have and going over all the areas, trying to blend them in. And for very little areas, I'm using a little bit white to get the highlight areas. There is barely any area in the hand which has the white highlight. Now you can see I am using that paint thinner on brush technique to blend in the hands smoothly, and I'll go over the entire painting with this paint thinner technique. And if you want to check out how to blend oil pastels using paint thinner, I have a very nice video of that. I'll put the link in the video description for you to take a look at it, just in case you have not seen it so far and you want to learn how to do that. I use paint thinner very sparingly. Dab the end of the brush in the paint thinner, then dab off the excess paint thinner, and then blend the colors in. And once in a while you have to obviously clean the brush in the same paint thinner and clean it off on a piece of paper towel. So keep a paper towel. I use rags. You can use cotton rags instead of paper towel as well. I'm sorry wherever my head is coming in between the painting. It is really awkward, but sometimes that happens for the camera angle. I am using straight up black over purple for the eyes for this particular painting. Generally for faces, I do not use straight up black. I try to use darker browns and then touch up with black, but this is more like an idol where they do use that kind of true black color, and so I have gone for it, and it really makes the idol pop up. Now once the entire face and the hand is done, I am coming back with the background. I am using a blend of blue, gray, and blending them over with the white pastel. I'm using a couple of different shades of blue and a couple of shades of gray, and the background really doesn't need to be perfect or in a particular shade. I'm using a lot of blacks and browns in the background as well. Just want a dark background that would contrast and help the subject pop up. As you always hear this same thing, that hype up the contrast, the dark should be dark, the lights should be light, and that is what I'm thinking of when I am doing the background. I want it kind of dark and very nicely blended so that the subject, the hand and the idol gets a real pop and the viewer's eyes are directed towards it. Now again, I'm coming back with my paint thinner on paintbrush and blending out the colors in the background and getting the smooth background that I am looking for. And it takes quite a little bit of time and patience to get the different layers and get to the layer of perfection. And there you see the entire painting, or rather drawing, is done. Let me know your thoughts and let me know how you like it. Thank you for watching.